Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. In this brief demonstration, we will highlight some of the key processes that have evolved as part of OneRF, powered by Workday. We're excited to share this information with you and hope that you find this a helpful introduction to our transformed and unified systems. We'll begin by logging in to OneRF powered by Workday. Please use your ID and password. Click on Menu on the upper left-hand side. A pop-up box will appear. Then click on Personal and scroll to Time. We will go over multiple ways that you can enter time. Let's start by clicking on This Week. First, you will enter the time for this week. The window will show the current pay period. You will only be able to fill the timesheet up to the current day it is, which is highlighted in blue. On the last day of the pay period, you can complete the last day of the week and submit your timesheet. Once complete, then you will complete the time for the previous week within the payroll period. I will now demonstrate how to enter time day by day for this current week up to the date that is highlighted, since it will not let me add time further than this date since it is in the future. To start, I will click on the selected date, which is Monday, December 8th. An Enter Time type pop-up will now appear. You can change the time type by clicking on the drop-down menu over here. This will show the different types of hours that you can input. We have regular, holiday hours, training, or other authorized hours. In this example, I will be choosing regular hours. For this specific day, I will input 7 hours. The comment section at the page is optional. Now I will click OK, and the hours will populate for that specific day. You can repeat this process for the remaining days. Now that I have submitted the hours for the current day of this period, I can go back to the previous week of the same pay period. There are two ways that can be done. The first way is to manually go back by clicking this button that will lead you to the previous week. Another option that is available for you to view both weeks of the current pay period is by clicking Period Calendar. Now that I'm in the period calendar, I can see every day of that pay period. To input the time for the completion of the previous week, I will click on the day, enter the hour, click OK, and this process can be repeated for all of the remaining days. Now that I have inputted all the hours that I can for this pay period up to the current date, I can also review those hours by clicking on the Review button on the bottom right. The Review button shows all the hours that I have inputted. For any hours that fall under the categories of overtime, time off, holiday, other paid, they will also auto-populate over here where you can review for that current pay period. When I have completed the timesheet for this pay period, I can click Submit and it will be then sent for approval. Another option to submit time is using the autofill from prior week function. This option is best used if there is already time entered from a prior payroll period and you are entering the same time for this pay period. For this example, we will go through entering time for the week of November 3rd through November 16th. Now, go to Actions and select Autofill from prior week. A pop-up window with the weeks for that pay period will appear. Select the first week. In this example, we will use November 3rd to November 9th. Click Next. You will see the worker name, start date, end date, and select prior week drop-down menu function. Select the week you want to copy the hours for. This example, we will select this week. Review the hours that have populated for the prior week you have selected. If they are correct, please continue with clicking OK. As we can see here, those hours that we selected from the prior week have populated for this current week. We can go ahead and repeat this process for the following week of the pay period by again going to Actions and clicking Autofill from prior week. Now we will select the second week. The same information previously will populate. We can go back and select the prior week we would like the information to copy from. Once you review that those hours are correct, you can click OK. Now the hours have populated for both of the weeks of this pay period of November 3rd to November 16th. After looking at the hours that have populated, and if they are correct, you can follow through by clicking the review button on the bottom right. You can use this pop-up to review the hours for that pay period again. If the hours are correct, you can submit this timesheet by clicking this blue button on the bottom right. This timesheet has now been sent for approval. For the third and last option, you can submit time by using the Autofill Form Schedule function. This option will be best used for people whose schedules remain the same from each payroll period. For this example, we will go through entering the time for the payroll period of October 20th to November 2nd. Now, go to Actions and select Autofill from Schedule. Once the Autofill from Schedule pop-up appears, you can select the weeks you would like the schedule to appear for. For this example, we will select the week of October 20th to October 26th. In this pop-up, you will see worker name, start date, end date, and time entry code. The select day boxes will have a check mark pre-populated. If you have worked those days, no action is needed. Click OK. If you need to make changes for those particular dates, please unselect and then click OK. For any day that the hours do not match up, you can unselect them and then click OK. Now I can go in and manually change the hours that I would like for this day. For this specific date, I would like to enter in 5 hours worked. And now I can click OK. Now the hours have populated according to the amount I had worked for that specific week. This same process can be repeated for the following week of that pay period. Once again, you can go to Actions and then Autofill from Schedule. Now I will select the second week and click Next. The hours have populated again according to my regular scheduled hours. I can unselect any of the hours that do not align with the amount of time I worked, and then click OK. Here, I can adjust the hours again. On the 30th, I can input something along the lines of other authorized hours and change it to 2. When I clicked on other authorized hours, I got an error message. This error message shows that I have to add in a comment as to what those other authorized hours were for. If I don't input a comment, the timesheet will not be able to be submitted. So we can go back and click Other Authorized Hours and add in a reasoning. In this case, we can change it to work or any other example that doesn't fall under these categories. I can input my hours for Friday as well. I can do holiday hours or training, and once again, other authorized hours. But I will just do regular for this and submit 6 hours. Now, once all the hours that I have completed for that week populate, what I can do is review them again. Here it shows that I worked these reported hours. If the information is correct, you can click Submit. Now this timesheet has been submitted for approval. These are the many different ways you can input hours within the timesheet system of OneRF powered by Workday. Thank you for viewing this demonstration video. We look forward to working with you.